Hello, everybody, and welcome to Skating Unfiltered with Jazzy Foster and Coach Jeff. Tonight, we're going to talk about the state of speed skating in the United States. Please subscribe and share as much as you want. I have to tell you first, this is probably mostly my idea. I'm going to bounce some questions off of her. I get asked a simple question.
Wait, before you start that, you have to give a shout out to some people.
Oh, yes, we do.
I wanted to give a shout out to What's Up Doc. The frame back here is a What's Up Doc frame. So 165 to 195 millimeter mount. I really like it, and it's very pretty. There's a more closer thing of it. And then they also have slide boards, portable slide boards, which I love because I have 3 of them.
One at college, one here, and one for me, right?
Just an extra one just in case, like if I go somewhere and I want to use the slide board. That's about it with it, but yeah.
And also,
Pinnacle as well with my
boot. Tammy got her Pinnacle boot, and she's going to be wearing it in Orlando. It took a lot to get her to change because she was on that Kaiser forever, so she's going to be debuting down there, seeing how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Corey Fox from Taylor Physical Therapy. He's beat me up, but I got to tell you, I'm 6 weeks out. I'm past 90 degrees. I'm walking okay. I skated at the rink on Saturday, much to the dismay of my family, but I was only on my skates for like 10 minutes, really, and I was just in the middle doing bucket trips.
It wasn't 10 minutes.
It wasn't that long.
I timed it. It was more than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing. So for the people that see me with my tights that I have on, they're called sleeves. I am an ambassador program, and it is you can get 25% off if you use my code Jazzy Foster 25 for 25% off your order for tights like the tights that I wear. I have the pink ones, black ones, white, gray, and then there's also like the longer tights to wear in the winter. So just shout out for that as well. But continue.
Oh, my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a pretty serious topic. I get asked all the time. I've been involved in this sport for probably almost 40 years. And the last, couple years, people come up and say, why aren't we growing? And I always turn around and say, well, why do you think we're not growing? We went through an investigation, and we were told basically we had to change the way we were doing things. And about 4 or 5 years ago at Outdoor Nationals, the speed committee said, hey, you know what? Give us a chance. Well, here we are 5 years later, and I'm sorry, and I know people are going to say this is bashing, but it's not bashing. It's asking a question. It's a question of concern. And we are basically still in decline. Our membership's about flat. Our revenue's down. I've asked all the time, what's the 1-year plan? What's the 5-year plan? I always monitor, speed committee minutes. Try to get involved with the speed committee. They're not going to let me in, so that's fine. So I just asked the question, what is the plan to get this sport back to its prominence? And that's an honest question. That's not bashing anybody. It's not attacking anybody. That is asking, how are we going to get back? We need to build revenue. Our membership revenue in 2015 was $831,000. It dropped almost under $300,000. Now, some of that you can blame on COVID. Of course, we couldn't skate. but we have presented no plan to try to grow this sport. And when people ask to be involved in the conversation, they're just shut down. They're accused of bashing, and hey, let the people take care of it. Well, they've had a lot of time to take care of it. It's not getting any better. What do you think, Jasmine?
I don't know if I want to comment on that part of it because I don't do well with, finances and membership. I mean, I know it's been down, just skating myself. It's it's a different feeling, before, at least I know membership-wise, like when I used to skate, to be like, now I can't, there used to be a lot more, heats and senior, but then at the same time, we still had a world-class division at nationals at the time. We still had novice. As well with it. We don't have novice anymore at indoor nationals. We don't have the world class division anymore as well. But
when we got rid of novice, I was there when they said, okay, we're getting rid of novice. And my first question is, okay, you got rid of novice, now what? What are you going to do now? The bottom line, there's no progression in this sport. Certain coaches are making that progression. They have a path. You start off, you go to the rink, you start in a beginner class, you join a speed team, you practice once a week, you practice 2 times a week, you're indoors, you're outdoors, there's a progression. But I'm telling you, I went to the website today, how to start a speed team, and there's very little information on our site, USA Roller Sports site, to how actually to do it. Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you got to get a charter. You got to do this. You got to do. But we don't have a template. We don't have a plan that says, listen, if I want to do this, you would basically got to call another coach and find out, hey, how do I do this? And there are plenty of coaches out there that will help and say, well, this is what you got to do, and willing to help. But we have got to come up with a financial business plan. Because right now, from all I see, all we do is we mess around with the selection process for outdoor nationals. We determine where outdoor nationals is, where indoor nationals is, and we take a couple of suggestions from the regional reps to change some rules. But we don't address how we're actually going to grow the sport, how we are going to get people involved. If I coach a baseball team, I can go down to my local pizza place, the one I go to all the time, and I can get money for them to help me with my club. And it's not a whole bunch of paperwork. It's not a whole bunch of this and that and all this other kind of stuff. But you can't do this. We can't do this. You have to do it all under the table. And you shouldn't have to do that. When you went to Worlds that year, Giovanni's, they were and Vinny's, they were very helpful.
Giovanna's.
Giovanna's. Mike, I apologize. And Vinny's, they were very helpful. But some of that money should go through USA Roller Sports. They should be able to benefit from them. But you can't be just taking all of it. I mean, how are you going to get the local person involved in the speed team? Now, there was a post out there. I think Gypsy put it out there about how to get local money. And it was very, very informative how to get local money. And I suggest people look into it because it was kind of interesting. And I'm glad to see we're going in that direction. But it did. I looked at it. We've been doing that for years, getting that some of the local money in, but we also have to be able to put this sport back on the map. And just asking why we're not doing that way, we should not be attacked. Retaliation is real in this organization, and it shouldn't be there. The people that work on these committees, they work their butts off, but they still have to be accountable. We all work our butts off. I work my butt off as a coach, but I have to be accountable. And we have to we have to fix this. And, you know, and people say, well, so what do you think, Jazz? And I'll tell you what people tell me. Well, what do you think we need to do to, if you're brainstorming, what would you say we need to do to fix this?
Fix, like?
Well, how would you say we need to get more members? How would you invest? If you had money, how would you invest it?
Partially in creating new programs, and the other part actually marketing the sport. You know, every other NGB, as well as just other organizations, whether they're, you know, national governing bodies or just organizations. They are not only marketing their sport, but they're also marketing the athletes of the sport, because every athlete has their own story that comes with it. You know, I think, and every organization has that one, like, star athlete to go with it. You know, look with USB skating, you had a trifecta with Joey, Brittany, and Aaron, all coming from Ocala, and they were pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And it kind of, while marketing them, marketed the sport. Okay, this is long track with it. And then you had the short track side of it too. Mame Baini, Kristen Santos, and you, of course, Stoddard as well. And I think it's a matter of, you know, you have to use part of the money for creating programs for people to get into, but then you have to market the sport to people to get them into those programs. And, you know, another, just marketing sport, but also marketing the athletes, because everybody, you know, everybody loves sports, but a lot of people like the story behind the sports.
I think that the marketing part is where we're lacking, because I've seen I think we threw $7,000 in the Starscape program. But when you look at the membership from the Starscape program, there are very few members. The Starscape program is a very good program. The problem is it's not marketed to rinks. It's not, okay, I want to do this in your rink. This is how your rink is going to benefit, because I'm going to create new customers for you. Some of them are going to be speed skaters. Some of them are going to be artistic skaters. Some of them are going to skate derby, and some are going to play hockey. And we're not marketing. The program is fine. I don't know why you need to put $8,000 into it. I heard, okay, we're going to monitor people on the internet, and I just don't see that happening. I see skaters, when we go to our beginner class, they watch their skaters and they want to see progress from week 1 to week 10. They want to see that their child could not even stand up on skates, and on week 10, wow, they want to see improvement. It's apparent. It's incumbent of the coach to show that progress. You said about promoting athletes. Some of the athletes on the website, they ain't skating anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, and people say, well, we don't have the people. No, you do have the people. There are people out there, such as yourself, such as people.
I'm busy right now.
Such as people that have
I'm busy.
YouTube channels that are promoting. They're promoting skating.
But that is what it has gotten to in the U.S., where, you know, we ourselves had to push skating with our own socials, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, to help push the sport. Where, yes, we should be doing that, but it should be based off of our organization. So if our organization is promoting us, we help promote our organization at the same time, and you both get that.
So what you're saying is it's got to come back under a certain umbrella.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that hasn't happened. And you talk to people, like I said, right away, as soon as you ask the question, like I said, you're accused of, why are you saying this? And people say, well, Jeff, since you know it all, which I don't, what do you think? And I've gone back to the same thing. This goes back to roller rinks. Okay? We have two organizations, and they have two different visions, and that's fine.
I don't know if they're completely two different visions.
Well, they definitely need to get together. You need right now in the United States, you need a roller rink to start a speed club. You need one. And you need to have a program to develop coaches. You need a stable of coaches. So like when a rink operator says, if they say, hey, I want a speed team. Okay, look, we got a coach ready to go in your area. They're Safe Sport certified. They got a background check. They got this, and they got a mentor that's going to help them. And you got to show that coach why it's in their best interest, and I hate to say it, financially, to be a coach. You know, everybody, I hear, I just coach for the love of the sport. You know what? That's fine. I coach for the love of the sport too. But when I want to go to Orlando, I still got to pay for it. I got to buy an airline ticket. I got to rent a car. I got to get a hotel room. You know what? And love ain't paying for that. Okay? You coaches need to value their time.
Coaches need to value time, or people need to value the coach's time?
People need to value the coach's time. I had people sit there and tell me, I can't get a speed team going here. I'm only charging $30 a month. I said, really? $30 a month? Can you get a babysitter on Saturday night for $30? That's who you attract. This is a sport. This is a sport that could lead to ice. That could lead to the Olympics. You need to value your time. You need to value your time. I got to tell you, when I first started coaching, I learned from my coach, Buggy Allman. He says, I'm not coaching for free. And I never did. And I never will. I'll get back to the sport. And we give back. We give back, to our regional skaters that make the team and helpful paying for their costs for Worlds. I have no problem doing that. But this is a sport. It's a sport where the athletes work very, very hard. And we need coaches. We need coaches on standby, ready to go, and we need to educate and prepare these coaches so they will stay in the sport. Because right now, I know the scenario. Coach starts off, he or she is coaching, and you know what happens? It doesn't really take up that much of their time. They're coaching 2 or 3 times a week. They go to a meet on Sunday. If their spouse is not into it, no big deal. Coach is going away for Sunday, and that's it. Then the team gets a little bigger. Then all of a sudden, one of their skaters wants to go to an invitational. And the invitational is sitting there, maybe it's a 3 or 4 day meet. Now all of a sudden, there's money involved. How does this coach get to the meet? Who knows? Then, okay, we're going to go to nationals, indoor nationals. Okay, that's could be 6 days long. And keep in mind, the average person only has 14 days off. That's all they get. Then they want to go to outdoor nationals, which could be 2 weeks when you add the practice time in. So tell me, and if this person, they started off, coach, it's a great thing, it's a very noble thing. Now all of a sudden that spouse says, when do we go on vacation? Now, in our situation, our vacation is what?
I don't get vacation.
Our vacation.
I'm not even celebrating my birthday this year in Orlando.
Well, yeah, we'll celebrate. We'll take you out somewhere.
We won't have the time.
You never know. But what I'm saying.
Last year, outdoors went till it was dark out, and it's not dark until late in Orlando.
Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get you a little.
No.
I'm just saying.
I'm still skating. I can't eat that now.
I think people need to understand that we have a sport. It takes up a lot of time. We have a demographics that we attract that possibly cannot afford it, doesn't have the time to do it. So we need to make changes on all scales. If ice nationals can be done over a weekend, we should be able to do our world trials in a shorter amount of time. And make the sport, what? Go ahead.
Do they have as many races as Ice Nationals if we would have
I don't know, but maybe that's something we need to look at. That's part of the questioning process of trying to make things better.
Now, how many distances were at the Olympics for short track?
I don't know. I really don't.
I think it was the 500, the 1,000, and the 1,500, I believe. And then they have relays on top of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We have
like 10.
No, I think we only had last year. I think we had the 100, the 200, the one lapper, the 500. No, we only had 7 when we went to Georgia.
That's because some of them were cut out. But if you had all the races, you have the 100,
I think
the
200,
the
I
one
think
lap,
you'd have
the 500.
I think you'd have 2 more.
The 10K, the 15K, and then there is the 2 road races. So it would have been. No, that doesn't make. Is it 8? No, I thought we had more.
I think it was 9. I think it was 9. What I'm saying is we just have to take a hard look. And we have to take parents into consideration, trying to get off work for these events. And we have to have some empathy for our customers here. Because if we don't, the trend is going to keep going the way it's going. And these people, they can work as hard as they want. And though people also say, well, they're just volunteers. That doesn't fly with me. Just because you're a volunteer does not mean you can't do your best. Okay? I just hate when people sit there and say, well, they're just volunteers. Because all of us are volunteers. We just turned on.
The heater, it's okay.
Oh. All of us are volunteers. And all of us, you all should be compensated to some level for what you do. But don't devalue yourself. This is a great sport. We need to get local investment. We need to get corporate investment. And we need to take our hand off of being so much in control.
Well, maybe we need to have the people that know how to get corporate investments in and talk with people in higher positions or on the board.
I think you're right. We need to get some people in that know how to do that, to get the money in from major sponsors. I know when we were involved in Dave's meet, it took a lot of legwork with people from me, Jeff Snow, Chad, and some other people down there to get just local TV into the meet. And I don't know if we had any media coverage at our World Trials last year. And I know from up here, I called, I think, every radio station. I called every TV station, and a lot of people shut the door. But when it was all over, we did have some people show up and do a local spot, and that helped the meet. That helped Dave's team, and people were aware of what was going on. And sometimes it just takes some work, and it's hard. I can tell you. This year we only concentrated on, Emerald Coast, and it was a success. And we have things that we're going to try for next year that we've already started on. But you got to do the legwork. It's not about, having positions. It's about, people actually doing the work we need to do to get this done. And I don't know. And it's about asking questions. It's about asking questions of ourselves, making ourselves accountable, and saying that, you know what, we can do better. Let's look at this idea and see if it's going to work. Because we're running out of options here. We're really running out of options. And, the clinic was great. A lot of people showed up, and that's good. But we should be having those type of clinics all over the country. I do my level 1 clinic whenever it's needed. And it's always packed. And we're to get people qualified at a low price so they can go to outdoor nationals. We need to figure out a way to promote more participation. And if we don't, then I don't know what's going to happen. It's just going to just keep doing it and people that, and we got to spread the knowledge, and we're not doing that. We need to have a coaches seminar, not a coaches seminar where you got to get on a plane to go somewhere. You got to have a coaches seminar. We have the technology.
You're saying a webinar.
We have the technology to get people together and not have. This is it right here. We're not going anywhere. We're talking all kinds of people. We're not leaving our living room. You know, during COVID, businesses and rinks, they redid their floors. They repainted their buildings. They did all kinds of things. They did not sit and just go, okay, we're closed. They took advantage of the situation that was presented to them. And I will say it over and over again. We did not take advantage. We could have rewritten the rule book 100 times. We could have redone the bylaws. We could have redone all kinds of things. We could have brainstormed on all kinds of things while we weren't skating. We didn't do anything. We just bickered amongst ourselves. People that could skate were getting victimized by people that couldn't skate. And here we are, 19 months, 22 years later, and people are still trying to rebuild their skating. And they are. The meet last Sunday, down the USRSS meet, 135 skaters. What Chris Kiesler's doing. And people are saying, well, no, these are people that wanted to skate. They looked at the signs. They said, hey, listen, we think we can do this. People are skating in Florida. People are skating in our region. Not as many as we'd like, but they're skating. They're all doing all different things. Not under either umbrella. No money's going through USRSS. No money's going through USA Roller Sports. And that's bad. That's bad because both of these organizations, whichever one you want to follow, if you can skate both, they're going to need money to help athletes. And if we don't come together and decide what we're going to do, there are going to be two organizations. There are going to be two organizations at the end of time. There's all kinds of different organizations in all kinds of sports. But this is hurting vendors. We're killing the skating industry, even though skating rinks are booming right now. They are booming. Our rink, you can't even find a parking space when we go to practice. Can't even find a parking space. We need to turn that revenue over to membership and participation in our sport. And we need to use the solid business principles, benchmarking, best practices to do that. And I've said that forever, and I'll keep saying it until somebody finally says, you know what, we got to do that, because that's what people do. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. You know, like I said, this is not an attack. I'll say it over and over again, even though I know people will sit there and say, oh, you're attacking. No, I'm just asking questions. You know, I want the sport to survive. I want it to be successful. I think it's the coolest sport in the world. I wouldn't be in it for this long if I didn't.
I don't think it's my only, I don't want to say issue, but when I say, you know, promoting skaters and people say, well, we are promoting skaters. There's a yes and a no to that. The yes is yes, you're promoting skaters, but you're not promoting the skaters that are currently members in the sport. And so, let's take, for example, the new and up-and-comers. You have Toya Weber, Gabby, Alicia McBride, all of them could start to be promoted now, of course, you know, with parents' permission because they're under 18 and everything. But they can start promoted because there are kids that look up to them already.
Yep. As
skaters. You know, even if any of the juniors for world class, you know, you have Cassie, who is her first year, last year for World. You have Mackenzie, you have Paige, Danica. I apologize if I'm missing some people from I think there's another Paige too. And I think there was someone, I can't remember the name. Oh my goodness, I'm going completely brain dead on who was on the team last year. And I do apologize with that. But we didn't really promote them. Like when they use advertisements for any U-Stars event, it's not current members that have skated or raced in this year.
I know. They're members from years ago.
You know, they may not be the top person, but they have the social side of it to where people look up to them. They don't have to be the best, but then they have the social side. Oh my goodness, if they're going to be there, I want to be there.
How many people of the people that you named do you think will be, and it's a two-tier question, will be future coaches 10, 15 years from now? Based on, you've been in sport for 16
Tori,
years.
because her dad owns a rink.
Yeah, you're probably right. She'll probably coach. You'll probably coach. And Gabby might coach too.
Gabby.
She might coach too.
But, yeah, but I want to see them, you know, really do well in skating first before they do coaching, because I can see them doing very, very well. I mean, they're 14 years old right now, and when I was skating with them, I was just amazed. Like 14, man, I wish I was like that when I was 14.
yeah, we lose. You know, when skaters can't.
Probably Mackenzie too. Mackenzie's dad.
Yeah,
because Mackenzie's dad coaches now.
Yeah. When we lose a lot of coaches because when they can't compete anymore in that level, they go on to do something else, and our retention rate is very, very low, and I think we need to really address that. You know, I always ask the question when people sit there and go ask me. I say, well, how many former world team members are coaching now? And they sit there and they're like, wow, not that many. I said, yeah, there's like 4. I mean, I'm talking about the history of the sport. There's like 4 of them. And that could be your trivia question. You can sit there and figure it out. There's only about 4 or 5.
That's not okay.
And why is that? If you were in any sport, if you were an NFL player, you could walk in any high school and get a job as a high school coach. If you're a Major League Baseball player, you could walk in any elementary school or high school and get some kind of coaching job. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just not happening. You know, some of the people, you know, all the people that I was on the world team with, none of them coach anymore. They never even decided to really coach. And I think that's where we really got to start. Rinks and coaches. Because you can have 20 kids, but if you don't have a rink to put them in, and you don't have a coach to coach them, well, it's not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen. And I just really, you know, I think we just need to like a hard look. What are we doing here? What is our plan? What is our 1-year plan? What is our 5-year plan? And I think we need to write it down. We need to publish it. And we need to tell the membership on a timely basis, this is what we're trying. You know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But to just sit there and just plan, do what we're doing is just not going to fly anymore. Meets are down, sanction revenues down, because everybody's doing their own thing, and we got to bring this thing back together. You know, I tell people all the time, go to this website, type in 990, you can look up all the financials, you can look up type in governance, you can look what your speed committee is doing, the minutes, what they talked about. We're not talking about growing. I haven't seen that. And when I mention it, then all of a sudden, you know, why are you getting on our case? No, I'm not getting on your case. I'm just asking. So, you know, this was mainly my topic because I'm passionate about it. And
I'm into marketing a lot, so that's why I was talking about promotion. But it was the other girl that made the team, but she didn't go to World. It was Valerie. That's why I couldn't think of it in Pollo.
So we are just trying to, you know, provoke some brainstorming, provoke some thought, so that you ask your regional rep, what are you doing? What are you do? What are we doing here? Which then they have to ask the speak committee, which has to ask the board, what are we doing? Show me what you're doing. And you as members need to go out and read the minutes to see what they're doing. And if you have questions, you need to ask those questions. If you don't understand something, you need to go to your regional rep and say, I saw this in the minutes. Why are we doing this? And he or she needs to give you an adequate answer. They might not know the answer, but they at least have to have the responsibility to say, look, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to find somebody that does know the answer. And we're going to try to get back to you. That's how a successful organization works. That's how it works. My 44 years working on work, I worked around a lot of gifted people. Worked around a lot of people I didn't particularly get along with, but they were good at what they did. They were good at what they did. You went to them, ask them something, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. I'll give you an answer. And we need to get thicker skin and stop taking things personal and stop retaliating against each other because we disagree, and stop excluding people because we disagree, and try to work together to make this sport. I don't care what organization you're in. I don't care if you're a rogue and you're doing your own thing.
Like Derby.
and whatever. Because if you notice what's happening in Derby, what's happening here is starting to happen in Derby too. I was talking to the Derby coach tonight at the ring, and it's starting to happen. Everybody's, they don't want to conform, so they're just doing their own thing. Which I guess that's okay. But I just want to get that off my chest. And, Jasmine painfully had to put up with it.
I'm just sitting here on my phone. I was Snapchatting Kelsey.
So we hope to see you in Orlando. Hope that the meet's successful.
Don't forget about Land of Lincoln too.
Yep, sorry. They got Land of Lincoln going on too.
They got inlines and quads.
Inlines and quads. And then we will get back to you after what, I'm sure we're going to have a great time. It's Florida. Every time we go to Florida, I have a good time. Because I don't have to do anything. I mean, my job is pretty much done, isn't it? To get there.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I guess. And my job's just starting when I get down
starting. So, you have anything else to add?
Shout out to the 2 people that blocked me on Facebook because they got mad because I don't want to say came after them, but I was just like, at least get all your information right before you say stuff.
Oh, yeah. What was that, Mr. Gambino? He was one of them. But that's a fake post anyway. And, if you can't even be who you are and stick by what you say, I mean, come on. You're just not relevant.
I don't really understand the point of, blocking me. I was like, I didn't say anything. The thing is, what bothers more is when people make things so personal. I didn't need to be brought into this conversation because I'm 21, going on 22, by the way. I'm not turning 21, I'm going 22 in next weekend. I almost forgot when my birthday was.
16th.
Yeah, 16th, but I was just saying, like, over the week, how long it took me to get to where I am. Everybody's story is different. That's the other thing. Everybody's story is different. So you can't judge everybody's story based off somebody else's. Or your own, for that matter.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know mine. I don't judge you, so don't judge me.
Yeah, I think that, we try not to...
But don't come after me.
Mention names here, but that person was,
They blocked me on everything.
Well, that's fine. I mean,
like everything.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, they came in there, made a bunch of accusations that, when we asked for proof of it, they couldn't prove it. They couldn't do anything. They just kind of, but enough of that. We're going to sign off here. Please subscribe. This is probably our most controversial topic, And
I don't really want to say it's controversial.
yeah, well, some people are going to say it's controversial, but this is our,
Okay,
to the
I
point.
apologize if it's controversial and if it hurt anybody's feelings. That was not my point of it. I was just pointing some things out from a business perspective and some of the things, because I have to do these type of things for school, and then with school they get graded by actual, not my professors, but businesses on how they think this would go in the real world.
So I think that, we just, but hopefully we'll see you guys in probably a week when we get back from Orlando. I'm sure we'll have another topic to talk about. We don't want to reveal it right now, so we'll just keep it under the cuff until the next time.
I guess one more thing is the TLTF wheel sold out in hours. That's got to be something, like in hours with it.
Yeah,
And he made
yeah.
a huge batch with it. Well, if you did not see the video that went out that I made for TLTF, the YouTube page, go check that out. I'll link it down below.
Go skate.
Turn left.
Yes, go fast. All right, we're going to sign off. Hope you all have a safe, I was going to say evening, but I don't know where you're going to see this. So
have a good day, night, evening,
yes,
morning, whatever it is, whenever you're watching this.
And be safe and skate fast.
Turn left.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.